Okay, so if everybody's okay, then I think that's good. I think we can just start because because of time. I don't want this session to take long today, so I'll just share my screen. Mhm. Let me hide this.
Lord, I have a question.
Yes.
Are we doing an MCQ today or are we doing like general revision of what was covered this week?
Well, today the way we normally do it, so basically we're just going through a couple of topics that we have to cover this week, and then we'll be doing the MCQs tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, so good evening, good afternoon, based on wherever you are. I think we can just start. So, because of this is a new module that is data visualization, and welcome to the new module, guys. I believe learning my SQL was good. Uh, I also understand that there were challenges here and there, but of course, that is why we are data analysts, stroke scientists. We are here to solve problems. And so I believe and I hope that the problems that people are facing along the way, you are able to solve them in one way or another. So because Velma seems to be breaking a lot, I don't know where she is because of the network issues. I would request maybe Marianne that you maybe monitor the chat if at all there's a question that I need to attend to. That is when I'll be starting to present here and do things. I may not be able to concentrate on the on whatever is going on the chat and all that. So maybe if you can be monitoring and
Yes,
alert
I will yes, I will monitor the chat.
All right, thank you. So today we are talking on data visualization. So I'm not used to Windows, but now I had to switch to Windows because um, the system I'm using, I'm not able to install Power BI. Uh, I tried the Power BI service, but then it required a lot of things and it was boring for me. Okay, so um, I want us to talk on a couple of things here, and then maybe we can. I have a data set that I downloaded from Cargo, so maybe we can answer a few questions from the data set, and then we can wrap it up. So without further ado, I want us to talk about the following. So of course, it's data visualization, and I want us to focus more on Power BI. So Power BI is basically a visualization tool. You can go and find out what BI in the Power BI means, right? You go find out for yourselves what the BI stands for. Uh, I don't know why they decided to call it Power and then BI. So I want us to talk about a couple of things here. The first one, I want us to talk about the components of Power BI, components of Power BI. Not so many things that I want us to talk about today. And then how we can get data, getting data into Power BI, getting data into Power BI, and then uh, we can talk a little bit on creating visualizations. I don't know if it's a visualizations with an S or a Z, but maybe it depends with where you learned English. And then I think we can also talk about here after components. Maybe we can talk about the Power BI interface. Power BI interface. And then after talking about visualizations, maybe we can do a little practice and then we can wrap it up. So I've already mentioned that Power BI is basically it's basically a visualization tool. We basically use it to make visuals, and of course, it has some other features like maybe sharing. Like, for example, when we talk about the Power BI service, it allows you to share also collaboration and all that. So, on the first topic here, when we talk about components of Power BI, it's like we are basically referring to the various ways of having access to the Power BI tool. So the most common one, and the one I think we've already been introduced to, is the Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. So it's basically it's for a software for designing and also publishing reports. For designing and publishing reports. Uh, Designing and publishing reports. So the Power BI desktop basically enables us to, of course, we can connect to data sources both locally and on the cloud. And from there, we can retrieve data and then we can perform whatever kind of visualization we want to perform on the particular data set. And then from that, of course, we can generate dashboards and also reports as well. And then after Power BI desktop, you also have Power BI service. So Power BI service it's basically an online service that enables data sharing, collaboration, you can say an online service that enables data sharing and collaboration. So basically with Power BI service, you can also create and view reports. Whatever you can do on Power BI
Interrupt.
desktop,
Hello?
you can.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask, are you recording?
Oh, yeah. I'm recording. I thought I'd forgotten. Okay, I'm recording.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So basically, with Power BI service, you can do everything you can do on Power BI desktop. The additional feature is the fact that it supports collaboration. So Power BI service is just Power BI, but running on the cloud. So if you have an account on Power BI service, you can create a team, or I think some people call it workspace. And then on the workspace, you can invite other people. And then once you've invited other people, you are able to create visualizations, reports all together. So basically, it supports collaboration. And then we also have the last one here is Power BI Mobile. So it's, I think we all have mobile phones, so maybe you can go depending on the mobile you're using. I don't know if it's available on App Store because I don't have an iPhone, but I have an Android. So if you go to Play Store, you just search Power BI, you're able to get the app. It also enables you to have access to views, interact with reports, and all those other visualizations that you can do on Power BI. So these are the main components. I don't know why they call them components of Power BI, because to me, it looks like it's not a component. It's like maybe various interfaces of Power BI or something like that. I don't know why they decided to name them components. So, but these three are the main one. That is Power BI Desktop. It's basically a software application that you can install on your computer. And currently, Power BI only runs on Windows. So if you have a system that is not Windows, then you are not able to install Power BI directly. You have to maybe access it indirectly. For example, I think there's a walkthrough on Athena on how to access Power BI if you're using a MacBook. For Linux users like me, I had to, install Windows on a virtual machine, and then from there now I'm able to install Windows applications. Okay. Then the next thing here we have the Power BI interface. So Power BI interface, when you talk about interface, you're basically referring to what you are able to see and interact with when you open the Power BI software, right? So on the Power BI interface, uh, we can divide it into three main sections. So the first section is we have the toolbar, and then the second section we have navigation pane. I think it's called pane, yeah, navigation pane, if I'm not wrong. And then we also have the workspace, yes, workspace. So I think these are the three main things that you makes up the Power BI. All right. So for better understanding, I think let me just open up this software and then we are able to talk about these things while we we interact and maybe see them. So this is my Power BI desktop here. Just started it. And while it's opening, when we talk about the toolbar, I believe all of us have interacted and used Word. So Word also, I think, has a toolbar where you are able to select fonts. I don't know, the font size, the font type, well, those many other things. It's normally at the top, right? So that's the same with Power BI. So on the toolbar here we have ribbons or ribbon, which is basically made up of various tabs, and then with commands and tools for maybe developing reports. We have the Canva, which is the central workspace where you can develop and edit data visualizations. And then we also have the page tab, all right? So I think let me just write these things for better understanding. So ribbon, it's composed of tabs, and then from these tabs you're able to do a lot of things based on whatever you're working on. After ribbons, we also have what we call the canvas. So canvas is a workspace. It's basically a workspace where you develop workspace where you develop and edit reports or visualizations. And then we have the page tabs. Page tabs. So page tabs basically helps you to be able to navigate different pages on the report. So for navigation. So this is what makes up the toolbar. We have the ribbon, which is composed of tabs, and then we have the canvas, which is the workspace where we develop and edit visualizations. I think let's make these visualizations. And then we have the page tab, right? So when we come to the Power BI software here, so this is what it looks like when you open it up. So if let's say there's a visualization that you had saved that you have been working on, it will appear here. So we have recent here. For example, we have this one called walkthrough.pbix. So when you save a Power BI file, it saves with an extension of .pbix means it's a Power BI desktop visualization or report, right? So they appear at the bottom here. And then up here is where you select a data source or you start a blank report. So we have here, we have one lake, we have blank report here, first of all. So if you want to create a whole new visualization, then you can click on blank reports. We have one lake catalog, uh, which I believe enables you to be able to connect to maybe a data lake. There's what we call data lake. I think there's also things called like data warehouse and all that. And then we have when you want to open an Excel, an SQL server, you want to connect to an SQL server so that you can maybe load a database or something. Learn with the sample. So yeah, I think this part here gives you sample data that you can use to learn and then get data from other sources. So these are other sources that you may want to specify. So in this case, let's start with a blank report. So when we click on blank report here, we have this interface here. So the first thing you're talking about is toolbar. And then the toolbar is composed of three main parts. We have the ribbon. Now ribbons are these parts here. The first one here, we have file, and then we have home, we have insert, modeling, view, optimize, and help. So these are the ribbons. So the default ribbon here is home. And then home has these components here that you can use. It also has commands, and basically it's made up of tools for developing reports or visualizations. So the first one here, I think it's grayed out because there's nothing to cut or copy. Is the cut, copy, and then we also have paste. We have get data, we have Excel book, workbook, one lake catalog, and all these others. We also have Copilot, which is an AI that you can use to help you in visualization and all that. Copilot is just like ChatGPT, but this one is for Google. After home ribbon, we have insert, which also has some other tools here. These are a bit more advanced, but I believe we'll be able to use them as we continue our learning visualization. We have modeling here, which also has some other tools. We have view, we have optimize, and also we have help, right? So basically the upper part is what we call the ribbon, right? And then after the ribbon, we have the canvas. The canvas is, like I've already mentioned, it's the central workspace where we can basically create or edit our data. So the canvas is this white section you are seeing here, all right? This is the canvas. So it's on this sheet, the white section here, where you are able to develop and edit data visualizations, right? So that's the canvas. And then we have the final part of the toolbar, which is the page tabs. So page tab, basically, I've mentioned that it helps to be able to navigate different pages in the report. It's at the bottom here. For example, here it's written page one, right? And then besides it, on the right side of page one, we have a plus sign. And then you see if I hover over it, it says new page, right? So it means if I click this plus, it will be able to create a new page for me. So we have page one, we have page two here. So this is the page tab. If you have multiple pages, you are able to basically navigate through different pages. This is what makes up the toolbar, right? And then after the toolbar, um, we have the navigation pane, which is number two, right? So what is navigation pane made up of? Navigation pane is made up of we have filter pane. So filter pane, I think we can say it's basically like a tool to select a visualization that we'd like to focus and tailor our analysis on, right? So you can say it's a tool to maybe select visualization to tailor our analysis on. So that is the filter pane. And then after filter pane, we also have visualization pane. So visualization pane, it provides we can say it provides a detailed look at the reports, underlying data, or sorry, not reports, but it's a section that has all the kind of visualizations that we want to use or we'd like to use. So it's on the visualization pane where you are able to select which visualization you want to apply on a particular data set, right? So maybe you can say it allows us to select visual elements, a section with visual elements where you are able to select which visualization or which visual element you want to apply on data. And then after this, we also have the data pane. So the data pane basically displays the available tables. Okay, displays available tables, or I don't know, maybe columns and whatever it is there, whichever data you have imported to Power BI. So let's have a look at navigation pane. Correct. So on the this is the right side. It's on my right side. That is basically this side like this. These three things here. We have filters, we have visualizations, and then we have data. So this is the visualization pane. So when we click on this small arrow up here for filters, you see it opens up. And then, okay, currently there is no filters because we have not imported any data and we have not selected any column that we would like to filter. But basically, filter works like if you are able to remember when you are learning about Excel, we were able to filter maybe data on rows or columns or whatever. So that's the same way this one also works, right? So this is the filter pane. And then just next to filter pane, we have visualizations. So if I expand here, we have different visual elements. So we have all kinds of graphs here, and maybe like for example, we have bar charts, stacked column charts, we have pie charts, we have maps, area maps. Everything you need is here. All visual elements, right? And then after visualization pane, we have data pane here. So data pane is on the rightmost. So currently it says you haven't loaded any data yet. So I have not imported any data to this particular interface that I am on right now. So that's why it's not showing any data here. But let's say I had imported maybe some database or a table, then it will show here. And then I'll be able to see the columns of that particular table. And I can click on a column and perform visualizations and all those other things. So basically, this left side, this right side here makes up the the navigation pane, and it's basically made up of three panes. That is the filter pane, visualization pane, and finally you have the data pane, right? Okay, and then the final one is workspace. So workspace again is also made up of three sections. Uh, The first one, we have what we call the report view. So report view, it's basically where we design and develop our reports. Okay, design and develop reports. That's the report view. And then we also have data view. Data view. Don't get confused. We have data view on workspace, and then we also have data pane, right? So maybe the distinction here is this one is view and then this one is pane. But don't get confused. So data view basically is where we can have a detailed look at the reports, underlying data. Okay. So here we are able to have a detailed look at the data, right? So it's on the data view where you are able to view the table. For example, if you import a particular table, then if you want to view the table, the columns, the way the data is on that particular table, then you go to the data view, right? Report view is where you design and develop reports or visualizations. And then we have final one is the model view. So basically, model view allows us to manage data models using the report. Okay, allow us manage data models. When we talk about data models, so basically referring to tables. For example, if we are to import a database that has maybe 5 tables in it, so those tables are what we call models, right? The way we are doing in SQL. So when you go to the model view, it will basically give you an ER diagram of how the tables are related within the database. So if you want to, I believe you are able to, you understand how we were able um, to view or to create an entity relationship model in MySQL. So with Power BI, it also gives us that ability. So let's just go back to our Power BI interface here and look at it. So on the left side here is where we have the workspaces. Okay. So when I hover here on the first one at the top, it indicates here report view. So this is the report view and it's the default one. So report view is basically where we are able to have the canvas. Okay. Remember the canvas that was on the toolbar. So it's the default one here. So after importing data and we create visualizations, then they'll be able to be viewed here, right? So basically, this is the report view. It is where we can design and develop reports or create visualizations. Then just below it, we have it's written table view, or you can call it data view, like I've mentioned. So when we click on it, currently we don't have any data imported on here, so that's why it's blank. If you add maybe a table, then the table will be displayed here with the rows and columns, row titles, and the entire data set will be shown here. And then just below it, we have the model view. So model view, you see they have a preview here. So if we add a database that has maybe 3 tables, then it will be showing the tables and the column names and the relationship of the tables. I believe you still remember the relationships of the tables based on primary keys, foreign keys, and all that. We also have some others here called like DAX query view, which I think these ones we learn when we start talking about DAX or DAX. And also we have TMDL view, which I still don't understand what it does. But at least the first 3 are the main ones. That is the report view. We have the data view or table view, and then we also have the model view, right? So that is the Power BI interface in a nutshell. Okay, so just to go through it one more time, we have the toolbar, which is basically the upper part here. It's made up of ribbons. The toolbar, the first part is ribbon, which is the upper section here, right? And then we have the canva, which is the white section here, where we perform visualizations and create reports and all that. And then under toolbar at the bottom, we have the page tabs, where you are able to create page and then you are able to select different pages. And then after the toolbar, we have the navigation pane, which is composed of, it's on the right side of the software here, which is composed of three panes. That is the filter pane, the visualization pane, and the data pane, right? Filter pane, we can perform filters, and then visualization, we can select the type of visual or the visual element you want to use. And then the data pane, we are able to view the names of the tables and names of columns. On the data pane, you will only be able to see the name of the table. For example, if it's United Nations table, then it will be that name of the table and then the column names, right? You will not be able to view any data from this particular section, right? Um, if you want to view the data, you'll have to come to the data view here, which is under workspace, right? And then, of course, when we come to workspace, the default one is the report view, where we are able to create visualizations. And then we have the data view or table view, where you are able to see now the data, the way it's arranged on the tables. And then we have the model view, where you are able to see an ERD diagram. Okay, I hope we are good up to that point. Okay, so that is that on Power BI interface, and also we talked about components of Power BI. Now, how do we get or load data into Power BI? Okay, we have the interface here, the software, it's open, but currently it doesn't have anything. There's no data, and therefore we cannot perform any visualization. So how do we load data, or how do we import or bring data into Power BI? Now, there are two main ways of getting data into Power BI. The first one is, of course, importing. Okay, importing data. This is like basically you're just loading or transferring data uh, from a data source into Power BI. Okay, it's the most common one. So how do we import data into Power BI? So when we come to the interface here, on the toolbar, when we select the home ribbon, we have these things here, the elements of the tools here. The first one here is get data, and then it has an arrow below it. So when you click on get data, we have what is this thing called? Drop down, yeah. A drop down menu appears. And then it has list of various sources of getting the where you can get the data from. For example, the first one here is Excel workbook. So if your data is an Excel sheet, then when you click on Excel workbook, and then it will take you to your system, and then you can navigate to wherever location you store the data. For example, if I click on Excel workbook, it opens up my system here. Now, if you look at here, it says Excel files. So when you click on Excel workbook, you should be able to import only Excel files, right? So that's Excel workbook. Oh, actually, now this is good. So we have the Excel workbook. We have text slash CSV. So if you want to import a CSV file, we have XML file. We have JSON. Um, we have folders, PDF, Banquet, SQL Server database, and all that. Okay. So basically, we have all kinds of files that you'd want to import. You see all these. So you may not use all of them in your entire data career, or data analyst or data scientist career. But what good thing, they've arranged them based on how people use the type of data that people use the most. For example, Excel are used mostly, and then we also have CSV files, and then we have XML. We also have JSON. I think those people who do programming, they understand what JSON and XML is, and many others. Another way to get Excel is basically to click on this Excel workbook here. We have um, uh, an icon for Excel. So if you click on that also, it will take you direct to where you have stored your Excel file, if at all you have any, or at least you are able to navigate and then load it directly, right? We also have SQL Server here. This is also if you want to import data from an SQL server. So here you'll be able to provide your server, and then the database is basically optional, right? So when you talk about server, basically, it means you need to provide a URL of your server. Okay. If your server is hosted locally on your PC, then you provide a URL that is localhost, blah, 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 and all that. If it's hosted on a server somewhere in the cloud, then you need to provide the details for that particular server, and then you'll be able to connect to it. So that is how you can import data on Power BI. Another way of importing data on Power BI or to Power BI is through what we call direct query. So what is direct query? So when you talk about direct query, let's say we have data hosted or stored in a remote server somewhere. Let's say the IP address of the server is 122.122.122.122. I don't know if this is a real IP address, but let's say that's it. So direct query basically enables you to be able to enables you to be able to fetch the data from the source. Basically, Power BI will connect to the data source without necessarily having to load the data into the Power BI. Okay, so for example, if we had maybe a database that is running on AWS, right? So AWS, they'll probably provide an IP address for our server. So what we will do is we will basically, or when we use direct query, we basically connect to that particular IP, and then we'll be able to query the data, or we'll be able to create visualizations, but the data is staying in the server. We don't have to load it to our Power BI. We will not have to come to the data here and then you see it. Okay. The data is not locally on the Power BI here. It resides on the server, but then we are able to do any other thing that you're able to do on Power BI. Okay. So for example, when you click on SQL Server here, okay, we have the first option of server here. And then when you come down here, we have data connectivity mode. So we can import or you can click on direct query. So when you click on direct query, it means data will not be imported to sit locally on this Power BI interface here. Data will remain in the data source. That is the information you provided for the server. But then you'll be able to query and perform visualization on the data while it's still sitting on the source there. Okay, so those are the two main ways of importing data into or getting data into Power BI. Okay, we have importing where you load the data from the source and then it comes into Power BI, and then we have direct query where you just connect to the data source and then you are able to perform visualizations while the data is sitting or staying in the source. Now, that's that on getting data into Power BI. How about
Let me
creating
interrupt
visuals?
you a bit, Lord.
Yes.
Mm, there are two questions in the chat, but first I wanted to ask people to
Mm-hmm.
fill the feedback form.
Oh, okay.
There's a feedback form we need on this session, and I've sent the link in the comments. And when you press the link and you go to fill it, kindly tick that the squad is Kenya 1 and Kenya 2, because that is the session you're attending. Okay. The two questions are, the first one is, how is SQL different from MySQL? And the second one is Power BI a premium service that needs subscription, or is there a free version?
Okay, so the first question is asking the difference between SQL and
And
MySQL.
MySQL, yeah.
Oh, okay. So SQL means structured query language or SQL, structured query language. It's a query. Uh, it's like a programming language for manipulating data in a database, and specifically for manipulating structured data. Okay, structured data is data that is arranged in tables and basically made up of columns and rows. So SQL is the language used to manipulate or to query or to, I don't know. So when you say things like select from, I don't know, table, that is SQL. That is the language. Okay. SQL is the language that you use to query or to manipulate data on that is stored on my SQL server. And then the next question was, what was the next question?
Is Power BI a free service you need, or a premium service?
So Power BI, there's free, which is the most common one, and then of course you can also get a premium one. I think we can just check it out all together. So when you just search Power BI and then you go to Microsoft, so Microsoft, oops. So, oh, sorry, not there, not there. So when you come to Power BI here, where is it here? Power BI, you have Power BI Desktop, Pro, Premium. So based on what you want, uh, Power BI Desktop is free. It's you can download it for free and use it for free. And then you also have a premium version, which of course uh has more features compared to the free version. Okay. Yeah, so you might find some more visual elements in the Power BI premium version that are not available in the free version. Okay. Um, and I think that's it. So those are the two questions. I think we can continue then. So the next thing we have to talk about is creating visualizations, or basically visualizations.
Let me
So
ask one thing, Lord. How will people access the recording?
So I'm recording, so probably after the session, I'll see how to share it.
Okay, then.
Uh, Now, I believe we remember when we were going through Excel, which was basically the first module, we learned a bit of visualization. Basically, you're able to create graphs, bar charts, line graphs, pie charts, and all that. So it's the same thing here. The difference is the tool. Okay. Back then we were using Excel. Now here we are using a more advanced tool, which is Power BI. Okay. So how do we create visualizations? So basically, the way to create visualizations on Power BI is after we've loaded the data and we have it here, we basically come to the visualization pane. And then from here, you are able to select the kind of visual elements you want to use, right? So to do this practically, I downloaded a data set on Cargo. I believe I had downloaded it. Mm, yes, it's called medical data set. It's basically, I think it's still open here. So on Cargo. So it's a heart attack data set. So heart attack data sets were collected at Zain Hospital in Erbil, Iraq. This was collected in Iraq in January 2019 to May 2019. So the data set has 9 columns. We have the first column being age. So age is basically the patient's age. And then gender is the this is why I love Kaggle because when you're downloading data, they provide you with some good details about the data you are downloading. So in this case, they have the column names and the description, basically the kind of data the column contains. So age is the patient's age, gender, biological sex of the patient, that is, the male is set to 1, and then female is set to 0. We also have heart rate, which is the number of heartbeats per minute. And then we have what we call systolic blood pressure. I think those were medics understand these things. So this is the pressure in arteries when the heart contracts. Okay. And then we have diastolic blood pressure, which is the pressure in arteries between heartbeats. We also have blood sugar, which is the patient's blood glucose level. What is this? CKMB, which is a cardiac enzyme released during heart muscle damage. Oh, okay. And then troponin is a highly specific protein biomarker for heart muscle injury. And then we have result, which is the outcome label indicating whether one of the patients experienced a heart attack. So institution, University of Kurdistan, so, category medicine, heart disease. So the data is called medical dataset.csv. So let's load the data. So when you come to our Power BI here, I've already mentioned how we load data. So we just click on get dataset. Okay. So when you click on get data, we click the type of data we want to import. In this case, it's a CSV file, right? So we click on text stroke CSV, and then we click on the dataset here and then open, right? So please wait while we establish connection. And here is a preview of the data. So we have medical dataset.csv. So this is the preview of the data based on first, let's say based on the entire data set. Yes. So we have all the 9 columns here: age, gender, heart rate, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, blood sugar, blah, 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 results. Okay. So we have all these here, and then when you click on load, take note of the canvas section here, how it's going to change. So let's wait, it's loading. And perfect. Now the data is loaded. Take a look at this. So this one has changed. We had, I don't know, like 4 elements here. Now it's only 2. Then it says build visuals with your data, select or drag fields from the data pane onto the report canvas, right? So let's look at the data pane here. Now in the data pane, now we have this medical data set, right? And then we have a small arrow on the left side of the name. So when you click on that arrow, we have all the column names here, right? So we have all the column names there. Now, if you want to create a visualization, basically we have to click on the type of or the visual elements we want from the visualization pane, and then it will appear here. And then after that, now we have to select the columns that we want to visualize. So for example, from these datasets, the heart attack dataset, somebody is asking, where are those questions? I think I had some questions here. Yes, somebody is asking, do men or women have more heart attacks in this dataset? Do men or women have more heart attacks in this? I think I can write these questions down so that we are able to. Um, so question one says, is that do men or women have more heart attacks in this dataset? Do men or women have more heart attacks in these datasets? Question mark. So let's find out if men, or let's find out between men and women who have heart attacks. So in this case, what kind of visual element can we use? Do men or women have more heart attacks in this data set? I think we can use a clustered column chart. If I'm not wrong, we can use a column chart. So we'll come here and then we select clustered. Yes, we have clustered column chart. So when you select on a clustered column chart, see it appears on the Canva here. So you have a clustered column chart, but now it's grayed out. Why? Because we are not visualizing any column here. We have not selected the columns that we want to visualize. So because we want to know if men or women have, we want to know who have the most or more heart attacks between men and women. We have our clustered column chart here. So we need to select the columns that we want to be part of this particular element. So because we are talking about men and women, I think we can start with gender. I think there's gender somewhere. Yeah, there's gender. So gender, basically what we'll do here, uh, on the visualization pane here, we have these visual elements, and then just below it here we have, like for example, here we have x-axis, and then add data field here. We have y-axis, we have legend, small multiples, and all those. So since we want to know who have more heart attacks between men and women, what we are going to do is this. We want to visualize gender, which is basically male and female, and then gender is going to be on the x-axis, and then we want to also know the results. Remember the results, if you come to table view here, yes, so results, we have the results column here, which has negative and positive. So positive means you have experienced heart attack. Negative means you have not experienced heart attack. So we want to group this based on gender, okay? Because we are trying to compare between male and female who have more heart attacks, all right? So we are going to use gender. That's basically the gender column. And we're also going to use the result column, all right? Okay, let's go back to report view. Now we're going to select gender. Gender is going to be on the x-axis. Now, when you select gender, basically, this thing becomes empty, but just down here we have gender. X-axis is this horizontal, and then y-axis is the vertical, right? And then on the y-axis, we want to put results, okay? We want to put results. Now, when we put results, we have count of results. So there's a small arrow here. When you drag the result column to the y-axis, a small drop-down arrow appears. So when you click on the small drop-down arrow, we have some drop-down menu appear here. We have count, count distinct, and all that. So basically, we are counting um, the results based on gender. Okay, so we have these two here. We have 0, which is basically female, and then when we count on result, you can see it's a bit lower compared to male. Another thing we can do is we can drag results on legend here. Now, when we drag result on legend, our visualization changes here. So when you look up here, we have results negative, positive. So this one separates our data set even more. It gives us more insights on whatever it is we are trying to visualize here. So it separates, for example, if you have female here, and then female, this is light blue. I don't know what color this one is. And then we have somewhat maybe bluish or whatever. I'm not good with colors, guys. You'll forgive me on that. I believe men are not good with colors. So the darkish bluish color is positive, meaning these people have experienced heart attack. The light bluish is negative. They have not experienced heart attack. So when we check out at females, which is gender 0, remember 0 represented females, and then 1 represented males. So 0 here, we have a number of people who are negative and positive. At the same time, on male here, we have a number of people who are negative and positive. So the question you're asking is, do men or women have more heart attacks in this data set? So clearly from this visualization we have created, we can tell that men tend to have more heart attacks than female, all right? Because male here, look at the positive, it's above 500 here, but female is above 200 but below 300, right? So you basically just compare the number of positive male and the number of positive females, right? So that is that. So basically, when we go back to our question here, do men or women have more heart attacks in this data set? So you can say men, I don't know why men have more heart attacks.
Sorry to
Uh,
interrupt, but someone
uh-huh.
raised her hand. Lavender. Lavender.
Okay, Lavender, you may speak.
Yeah, I was requesting, like I said in the chat, that you share the data sets with us.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can share it in the chat.
Okay. Let me just share it. Wait, am I able to send this in the chat?
I think send them the link to Kaggle where the data set is. Then they can download from there.
Okay. Copy, paste. But you see, you'll have to create an account with Kaggle so that you're able to download the data set. Okay, I believe we can continue now, right? Any other question? Okay, let me connect something up very fast. Okay, I think we can continue. So the first question we've answered, and men have more attacks than females. Okay, question number two. What was question number two? Let me see. So question number two is asking, is there a relationship between age and heart rate? Is there a relationship between age and heart rate? Is there a relationship between age and heart rate? So I think this we can just leave it on this first page, and then we can create page two, and then we will use this one to answer the second question. Is there a relationship between age and heart rate? There's column age, and then there's also heart rate. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think maybe we can use a scatter plot. I think we can use a scatter plot. Is there a scatter plot here? Struct area charts, ribbon. Mm-hmm. There's a line chart. They don't have a scatter plot. Wow.
Down below where you're clicking.
Down, down, down. Pie charts. I'm not seeing a scatter plot. Line and clustered column charts, ribbon charts, waterfall charts.
Next to
Mm.
the
Next to the,
pie chart. Pie
oh
chart.
yeah, scatter plot. Okay, got it. Oh wow. So scatter plot. So we want to find, what was the question again? A relationship between age and heart rate. Relationship between age and heart rate. Relationship between age and heart rate. So maybe let's put age on the x-axis, and then no, let's don't summarize, and then heart rate. Heart rate on the y-axis. Maybe we can use average. I think it will be okay. Average. And what about sum? Sum heart rate. I think even this is okay. So sum of heart rate by age. Sum of heart rate by age. So I think already from this we can tell that um, there's a relationship between age and heart rate. So for example, if you look at this visualization here, we can tell that see these people who have lower ages, their heart rate is not quite high, but then maybe you can say between 40 years, this is 40 years, look at their heart rates. So maybe between 40 to 70 years, we can say they have very high heart rates. I think that is where life slaps people a lot. So kids, there is no need of having high heart rates, but then adults also are tired of life. So elderly people, they are probably tired of life. They don't need to have a lot of heart rate. But I think from here you can tell that people who are between at least 40 to probably 70 or 75 years, their heart rate is quite high. And you can see the trend here. You can see these dots going up as we move from 40 towards 60. I think 60 is the highest. You can see at age 60, we have some of heart rate at that 8,000. And then it comes down as they continue to age. So I think this can tell us or can give us insight of the relationship between age and heart rate. Huh, I think we can. Is there anything else you can add? Maybe results. No, I think I'm satisfied with this, unless somebody might want to add something. But this is already okay. So when we go back to our question here, we can say yes, a relationship exists, and then we can say maybe probably maybe we can say between 40 to 70 years, uh, heart rates tend to increase uh, with the highest at age 60. So these people in their 60s tend to have the highest heart rates. Okay, that is well answered. Let me search for the next question. So from this, you can see how we are basically, we have questions, and then from questions, we are able to explore or try to understand what the question needs. And from that, we are able to determine the kind of visualization or the visual element we would need to pick. The next question here is asking, what is it? How does average heart rate change across different ages? How does um how does average heart rate change across different ages? How does average heart rate changes across different ages? How does average heart rate changes across different ages? What kind of I think I think here we can use a line charts. Let's try and use the line chart and see, because basically how does average heart rate changes across different ages? So it will be continuous, and then also try to compare, so comparison. So let's try and see what a line chart will give us. Line charts. So we have a line chart here, and then the question is asking average heart rate across different ages. Across different ages. Okay, let's start with age. Let's see what we get. Age on the x-axis. And then after age, we also need to get heart rate. So heart rate, they want average heart rate. So heart rate, and then here instead of sum, we'll change it to average. Average. And then what else can you do? How does average heart rate change across different ages? Mm, I want to try something here. I want to put results on legend here as a filter. Okay, interesting. So I've added results and then I've basically put result on the legend. So remember results supposed to give us negative and positive. So we have two lines here. The first line, the dark line is for positive patients. Basically, you're trying to see their average heart rate based on age. And then the light blue line is for negative patients. And something is interesting here. This is age 32. At age 32, these people have very high heart rate and they are negative. So it's a bit confusing, by the way, that somebody who is negative and they have a very high heart rate of around, yeah, it's 79. So maybe there might be a reason why. Probably a lot of people are getting married here, so they have a lot of heart attacks. Um, and then at age 44, we have these people who are positive. They record the highest heart rate at age 44. But then I think the main thing we can get, the main insight we can get from this visualization is that people who are negative, they tend to have higher heart rate at age 32. And then people who are positive tend to have higher heart rates at age 45. But these people who are negative have high heart rate compared to people who are positive. And I don't know why. There might be a reason. Apart from these two ages here, um, their heart rate tends to be just normal, like there's no big difference until maybe when people get to age of 86, where those who are negative also tend to have very low heart rates. And then these people who are positive, their heart rates somehow tend to go a bit high at age 90 and also at age 69. So I think we can get a lot of insights. There basically a lot of things you can pick and a lot of insights you can pick from this. It's based on, I think I may say it's based on what you're trying to get, but already looking at it, you're already seeing a lot of insights. Okay, so that is that. Mm, how does a vary across different ages? So I think here we can say maybe at age 32, at age 32, negative people tend to have high heart rates. So maybe you will need to be able to find out why. If at all you want to go deeper, you need to be able to find out why is it that these people are negative, but at the same time the heart rate is really high. It's not normal, of course. All right, may continue. Let me look for another question. I thought they were around five. Here's another interesting question. What proportion of patients experienced a heart attack? What proportion of patients experienced a heart attack? what proportion of patients experienced a heart attack? So I think here we need to use results to get total number of positive and negative, and then we need to be able to count patients. For example, we should be able to count maybe positive patients and also negative patients to get the difference, because the one proportion of patients who experienced heart attack. So we want those who have negative, positive, they experienced heart attack. So what can we use? What can we use? Oh, I think we can use a pie chart. I've seen a pie chart here, and then I'm like, okay, let's see, we can use a pie chart. So we can use a pie chart here. So on our pie chart, we want to know the, okay, let me go through the question again. I've forgotten already. Oh, what proportion of patients experienced heart attack? So we want to use the result. So what can we add on value? Value, I think let's use age, and then we can count age. So on the value here, values we can use age, but then we are going to use count because we are counting the patients. Basically, we are counting all the rows. And then results should be on the legends. Ah, good, 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 good. So, okay, why do I keep on forgetting that question? What proportion of patients experienced a heart attack? So from this pie chart, we can tell that out of the total number of patients that we have, 61.41% or 61% of them are positive. It means they experienced a heart attack, but 38% are negative. They did not experience a heart attack. And the good thing here is this thing indicates several numbers. So we have 810 who experienced heart attack, and then we have 509. I didn't really check how many patients we have in our data set here, but yeah, it gives us some very nice numbers here. So here we can answer the question by saying, wait, I've forgotten about the percentages. Good. 61% and 38%. So 61% experienced a heart attack, while 38.5, so we can round it up to 39%. So this one should be percent, come on. Percent. Percent did not experience a heart attack. That is very nice. So you can see how we are creating these visualizations based on the question that has been asked. We are able to come up with the type of visualization that we want, or that will best suit the question, and then or will be able to give us the correct answer, right? Is there any other question? I don't know how many questions there are, but let me see. We have done that one. Okay. Out of questions, but these are only 4 questions. And out of the 4 questions, you can see we've come up with the different visualizations. We have a pie chart here. We have line charts. We have scatter plot, and then we also have column charts, right? So based on the kind of question you're trying to answer, the question will be able to tell which kind of visual elements you will need, right? I think on the Athena there was an interesting, is it on Athena or I don't know where I saw it, where we are needed to use maps and all that. Or I think it's in the MCQs or something where I saw that kind of question. So, of course, as we continue to do these things, we'll be able to explore, get to use as many visual elements as possible. But for now, I'd wish to stop here unless anybody is having any questions. Any questions? Yes, Livette memory. You may speak.
Yes, my question is thank you uh, for the nice presentation. It has made things easy. My question is on the visualization where you had the bar chart, I think, and then you said the one represents the male and the zero represents the female.
This one?
Yeah, I don't understand how you then coined to say zero represent female or one represent.
Oh, so that one actually came from our data set. So when we come to the table view here, this is our
Mm-hmm.
table, right?
Okay.
Now, when you
Yes.
look at the column called gender here, we have one
Mm-hmm.
and we have zeros. So when we are reading about the description of our data, uh, the data that we got from Cargo here, um, where we have gender, right? And then they say gender is biological sex of patient in brackets. The male is set to one and the female
Okay.
is set to zero. So that is
Ah,
why
okay.
that's why we got that one.
All right. No, thank you.
Right. I don't know how to pronounce this name. Gibi or Gibe. I don't know. Ikemenjima.
It's okay. Thank you for the presentations. Good evening from Nigeria.
Good evening.
Can I go on?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay. I'd like to ask a question, yeah? Um, I noticed something while I was trying to export a dashboard on Power BI. I couldn't
Hmm.
export with the actual colors I used for the design. The colors were changing.
The colors were
I know
changing.
you did not, it's not something you treated, but the colors were changing. Like if
Did
you
you save
have,
it first?
when you open the, sorry?
Did you save it first before exporting, or oh, you were trying to export and then the colors were changing?
Yes, they were changing. It wasn't same color I used while designing.
Okay, that's interesting.
So export as PDF. It was changing.
Oh, you're exporting as PDF.
Yes.
Okay, let me try export as PDF. Mm,
Could the setting be
okay,
different for
this
a dashboard than a tile?
probably. You're using Power BI desktop, right?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll try and look into that and try to find out why it's changing. Though at the moment, I don't really understand why it's changing from your side. Or it may be used heavy colors and so it might be taking time to load or something.
But the colors are not supposed to change on a dashboard. I wanted to export the each canvas of the dashboard as a
Oh,
PDF
you wanted to
file, but
export each canvas as a PDF. So for example, these all canvas are PDF, just one.
yes. So you have a dashboard typical. Let's say you have about 6 tiles on one canvas.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll try and find out why it might be changing. Though at the moment, I don't really understand why the colors will change.
Okay.
All right. Hmm, I think some people had other questions. Grace, you may ask your question.
So,
Thank you.
thank you
Then,
so much. First and foremost, thank you so much, Lord, for the good work you always do, and also making Power BI bits easy. I wanted to inquire which version you're using, because from my Power BI, I don't have that column chart. Oh, yeah, that visual, because I've tried looking for it, like the one used for the first question. I can't find it. I don't know if you downloaded it or.
oh, from the questions, you can't find.
Yes, no, from the visualizations under Power BI, I can't get the column chart. So I don't know if you're using a more advanced version than I am using. Where is it on the
It's a
on
free
Power
version.
BI?
So okay, so column chart is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth one from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clustered column chart.
Okay. And which version are you using for Power BI?
I don't even know which version this one
If you
is.
go
That's
under
why.
File, then About, yes, at
mm,
the bottom left, you will see the version.
Version 2.146.1026, blah blah
Okay,
blah.
thank you so much.
It was released on August 2025.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think the next person was Lavender or something. Yeah, Lavender.
Okay, I wanted to ask about the first visualization. When I use the clustered column chart, that's what you used. I can only see that there's only one bar, the one that is light blue. I don't know what I'm doing differently. I can't see the results legend, the one that shows positive and negative. So I was asking,
So,
uh, is there anything that I missed? Because the x-axis, niliweka hiyo
x-axis
gender
is gender, and then y-axis is count of result, right?
result.
And
Okay, I
then
think it's
legend is the result.
okay. Thank you for the clarification. It's the legend that was missing.
Okay. Uh, uh, um, mm, okay, I think there are no more questions because I'm not seeing any other person raising our hands.
Lord,
Yes,
I have,
Rogers.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I might have joined late. I'm trying
Yes.
to open the link you have shared on the chat,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how now to upload it because it is saying there is create home competition dataset model. So I don't know where I should click so that I get that the data.
Are you on Kaggle already?
Yeah, I'm already on Kagi.
So when you're on Kaggle, um,
Yeah,
it's something like this, right?
yeah,
So if
yeah.
if this is what you're seeing, then you just need to come and click on the download button here.
Okay.
Yeah, so when you click on
Oh,
download,
oh,
it will be a zip file and then you extract it.
okay. What I'm not seeing is heart attack.
Mhm. Are you
The heart
logged
attack
into,
part, or
do you have a
Kagi,
Kaggle
or
account and then have you logged in?
yeah, yeah. I've already logged in. So, or I'm supposed to search, so that it
Okay,
brings
can you try
the.
searching heart attack dataset? Just search heart attack dataset on the search bar.
Okay. Check dataset. Okay, good. It is coming. Thank you.
All right, cool, 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 cool. Okay, somebody's raised their hand. You may speak.
Hi, Lord. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I'm asking, where are you getting the questions from? Because I've tried to look at Kaggle. I can see the question that you are using.
Oh, so the okay, Kaggle only provides you with the data set. These questions are okay. What you can do is this. If you have the data set, you can paste the data set on ChatGPT, and then you may tell ChatGPT that I want to maybe practice how to use maybe Power BI. So can you create questions tailored on these data sets so that I can answer them or something like that? You may just, I think you can use ChatGPT. That will help.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, okay, I believe Marianne shared the, what is it called? The feedback form. I can see there. So just fill the feedback form, indicates indicates your squad. I believe by now everybody knows which squad they belong to. So you may indicate your squad. If it's Kenya 1, then you indicate Kenya 1. If it's Kenya 2, you indicate Kenya 2. Um,
Let them take Kenya 1 and Kenya 2 because this is the session they attended for Kenya 1 and Kenya 2. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for that. So you may indicate that, and then I think since there are no more questions, I wish to stop there. I'm going to compile these and okay, my Google Drive is full. I don't know. Can I share? I think I can post this on YouTube and then maybe share the link. I think that would be okay because I'll need to delete a lot of things from my drive. So I'll probably post this on YouTube and then I'll share the link. I believe that will be okay. All right, guys. So
Oh, people are asking for the link to your YouTube.
yeah, so I'm saying uh I'm basically going to save this video and then I'm going to post it on YouTube and then I'm going to share the link.
Like your YouTube name.
Oh, my YouTube, what is my
Yeah,
YouTube
where you
name,
will
by the
upload
way?
the place you'll upload the video.
Let me just confirm real quick. I don't even know my YouTube name. Um, yeah, so just search Lord Abiola like that. Mm. So I'm going to post it and then I'll probably share in the group, or I'll share with Velma and then she'll be able to share with you guys.
Okay, thank you. Everyone have a good night. I guess. Goodbye.